Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Vondrak, and we're going to start our last unit, our unit on circles, today with a video. So this lesson will be all about circles and the basics of circles, kind of an introduction to some of the terms, and many of them I'm sure you've probably heard of already. We're just going to go through and define them so that we have these terms understood before moving forward. So first of all, let's define a circle. A circle is the locus of points. Let me get this written. The locus of points that are equidistant from a given point. And I'll explain in a second what it means to be the locus of points. So from a given point, this part right here basically means the center. Okay, the center will be our given point. And the locus of points that are equidistant from that center, it just basically means if I have my center here, let's see if I can do this, right there, and it's all the points that are the same distance, that's not showing up, around. That locus of points is that kind of collection of points all around that center point. They're all equidistant, they're all the same distance away from that center point. So the center is usually denoted by some capital letter. Let's call this center A, capital letter A. We would, the notation for that would be, you could write center A, actually, sorry. Let's see if I can erase. Circle A, sorry. And then you'll also see it written with circle, a circle in front of the A, so circle A. Now, we've already talked a little bit about circumference. Circumference is basically the edge of the circle. Okay, it's like the perimeter of the circle. So it's the edge of the circle or the distance around the circle. It's like the perimeter. That's the distance around the circle. And let's just go ahead and write this in. Circumference is 2 times pi times the radius. Sometimes we also see it as pi times diameter, because of course 2 times the radius is the diameter. Next is the radius. Now I'm sure you all know what the radius is. Let's go ahead and draw one in. If I draw, let's see if I could do this. Yeah, there we go. Well, I didn't make it go all the way to the edge. Okay, so if I draw this radius and label this B, then I have a radius AB. Okay, and the radius has an endpoint at the center and an endpoint on the circle. So endpoints at center and on the circle. And the radius is going to be a fixed distance from the center to the edge of the circle. So I could draw a radius in really anywhere in the circle from the center to the edge of the circle. Okay, next we have the chord. The chord might be a new term for you. Let me start by drawing one in. If I draw here to here, and I label this chord, oops, I can't do that. Go back to my pen. MN, this is my chord. Okay, so my chord, the notation would be MN. It's a segment. Squeeze that in. It's a segment with both endpoints on the circle. This is on. Okay, so it's a chord with both set endpoints on the circle. Next we have a diameter. So let me go ahead and draw that one in. Let's see, I'll draw my diameter from here to here. Okay, and let me just change colors here. Okay, I'll label my diameter CD. Okay. So a diameter is also a chord. It happens to be the longest chord. Going through the center, that's going to be the longest chord in the circle. And it's a chord that goes through the center. Okay, so those are the basics. I'm sure you've heard of some of those terms already. Next, we're going to get into some new terms. Oops. And we'll start with the tangent line. So let me first draw one in. Let's go ahead and draw my tangent right here. Okay, so that's going to be a tangent line. Okay, so let me go ahead and put arrows on the end there. And then let's label this H and a point up here, G. Okay, so my tangent line, my notation would be GH, and the definition of tangent line is a line, oops, that intersects the circle exactly once in one place at one point. And that point would be right here at H. So this part is important. Exactly one spot. And then this point right here, H, is called the point of tangency. The point of tangency. Okay, let's move on to the secant line. Let me go ahead and draw one in here. Let's go ahead and draw it like this. Put the arrows on. And let's change colors. Okay, I will label this RT. So the secant line RT is a line that intersects the circle twice. Okay, so it intersects the circle at point R and point T. So you can see that the secant line actually forms a chord. Okay, so now we have another term here, kind of hiding in here, arc. Arc is a new term. Arc is simply a piece or a portion of the circle's circumference. Okay, I kind of wrote that in quickly for you there. It's a piece or a portion of the circle's circumference. So if I draw on this circle here, if I have point A and I have point B, then this piece, just right in here, this piece of the circumference of that circle is going to be called the arc. Okay, so right in here is an arc measure, an arc. Okay, so let me draw in, let's see. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so our notation for an arc, we would write for the actual arc itself, AB, with this arc over the top of it. And we can also write the measure of arc AB. That's if you're going to give a size to it. It's the length or the measurement. Actually, not the length, but the measurement. It gives a size to that arc. And now we have a couple different types of arcs. Our major arc is going to measure greater than 180 degrees. And our notation for a major arc is going to be, okay, so if I put another point on this circle here, let's put in point C. Okay, if I want to name a major arc, I need to use 3 letters because I need to show like the direction that it's going around the circle. If I just say arc AC would be this short path. But if I want to take the long path around all the way from A to C, then that's my major arc. It's greater than 180 degrees. Okay, so I'm actually going through, whoopsie, what's that? I'm actually going through point B all the way around to point C. So if I'm going through point B all the way around to C, I would name that arc by using 3 letters, A through B all the way to C. Okay, so you need 3 letters. Okay, the minor arc, let me change colors here. Let's see. Let's go orange. The minor arc, if I want to name a minor arc, say AC, it's the short path. I'm just going to use 2 letters. So I say AC. Okay, just with 2 letters. Okay, and a minor arc is an arc that's less than 180. So let me squeeze this in here. It's going to be less than 180 degrees. Okay. So for a semicircle, if I were to draw in a diameter here, let's go right through the center, drawing in a diameter. Okay, and I label this, if I label this point D, okay, so my diameter AD, the semicircle is going to be an arc that measures exactly 180 degrees. So it doesn't matter which way I go around the circle. I can go from A through B. Whoops, what's happening there? Okay. I can go from A through B all the way to D, or I can go from A through C all the way to D. Either way, it's 180 degrees. So I actually can name that arc by using two letters, AD, or I could actually name it using three letters, A through B to D, although it doesn't matter what direction you're going because it's going to be 180 degrees either way. Okay, so let's flip the page over and do a little bit of review now. If you'd like, you can pause the video at this point and try to fill in as many of these as you can, and then we'll go over it together. So we're just matching the following terms. If I'm looking for a radius is going to have an endpoint at the center and on the circle. So there are actually a few that it could be. It could be AC or AD or AE. And we see here AE is option number 1 for a radius, AC. A diameter is a chord that goes through the center, and I actually see only one in here. It's DE, so we're looking for DE. That's number 7. Now a chord, well, a chord could also go through the center, so DE could be a chord, but in this case I am going to check for CD or DF. Do we have CD or DF? And these are chords, so they're segments. You're going to look for the straight line over. Okay, so we're looking at CD would be a chord, so that's number 9. All right, a secant. We know a secant is going to go through the circle, hitting the circle in 2 spots, hitting it twice, and it looks like we have going through D and F, so that could be named line DF or even BF. Let's see what we're looking for. What do we find there? DF is number 10. Okay, a minor arc. So this is an arc that's less than 180 degrees. And an arc, again, is notated with the arc over the top, not a straight line. So we see here that CD is a minor arc. So that's 8. A tangent is going to be a line that hits the circle in exactly one spot. This line right here hits in exactly one spot at C there. I've covered up my letter now. That's C. So I'm looking for, let's see, CB. Is this B here? Yeah. So CB would be that line. Is 3. The center is just point A. That's 4. Some exterior point. So an exterior point is going to be a point that's outside of the circle. So that could be G, point G, or point, what is that point B? Okay, so I think we're looking at point G. That's 6. All right, a major arc is going to be greater than 180 degrees. So the clue here is looking at these options, these choices. I need it to be 3 letters, so either DEF or DCE. Let's check those out. So DEF, it would go from D through E to F. That would be a major arc. So we're going to pick number 2 for that one. Okay, if we had said DCE, DCE, notice that makes the half a circle. So that is going to be a semicircle. All right, so DCE is the semicircle. Okay, our next section here. I think I need to turn the page. Okay, the next section here, we've got circle A and circle D, and they have radii of 4 centimeters and 1 centimeter respectively. So that means circle A has a radius of 4. So that means any of these lines that are going from the center, center out is a radius. And my radius is 4, so I'm going to label my picture. I also have a radius from A to F, so I know that part right there is 4. And A to C, that part is 4. And then I was told that circle D has a radius of 1, so that means this part here is 1, and that part there is 1. This one here as well is 1. So I've marked up my picture with all of my known information, and now I'm going to use that information to answer the questions. So I'm going to change my pen color. All right. I'm looking for the measurement of BF. Again, BF doesn't have a line over the top of it, so that's telling me that I'm looking for a measurement. I'm not looking for anything congruent. I'm just looking for a measurement. So BF is all the way from one end of the circle to the other. So that's going to be 2 radii put together, so that's going to be 8. And these are centimeters. Okay, so that consists of 2 of my radius put together. And that equals the diameter. Now I'm looking for the measure of AD. So look here, AD, just keep changing colors here. AD is going to be this section right here that's 4, and this section here that's 1, so that's going to be 5 centimeters. Okay, and then I'm looking for CD. Now this one gets a little tricky here. CD. I know GD is 1, but I don't know CG. So if I can get CD, but notice that this is a right angle right here. So I can use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out that missing part. So if I draw my right triangle over here to see it a little bit better, I know that this one of the legs is 4 and the hypotenuse is 5. Putting these 2 pieces together, 4 and 1, that's 5. And really this is what I'm looking for. So that's going to be x squared plus 4 squared is equal to 5 squared. So x squared equals 5 squared minus 4 squared. So that's going to give us x equals 3. Okay, so x, this was our whole length here. That's going to be 3. So CD is 3 centimeters. And now I'm looking for CG. Well, I just have to do a little bit of subtraction. Okay, if the whole thing is 3 and GD is 1, then CG is going to be 2. And now I need the perimeter of triangle ACD. ACD, well, I'm just adding all of those up. That's 3 plus 4 plus 5, which gives me 12 centimeters. Okay, so one last little thing here to show you how to draw some of these things. First of all, I want you to try a little bit first. Pause the video and give it a try and draw these, and then we'll go over them and see how you did. Again, you need to try it. It doesn't hurt to try. That's how you learn. So I want you to pause and try this part first. Okay, so here I'm drawing a secant line, AB. I know that a secant line is going to intersect the circle in 2 points, so I can draw it anywhere I want to. Here's my secant line, and I'll draw in my arrows. And I know it's secant line AB, so that means where it intersects the circle are my points A and B. And it's going to intersect circle M, so I know my circle is labeled or called M, so that's my center at M, and it's intersecting center M at points A and B. So there we go. The second one, again, I have a secant line, MN, and it's going to intersect tangent line TM on circle R. Okay, so first of all, I know I have circle R, and it's going to intersect a tangent line. So tangent is going to intersect the circle at 1 point, and notice in my secant line I have an M. Let's make this a bright color. I have an M here, and I have an M here. They have the M in common, so that's where they're intersecting. So if I draw in my tangent line, I know a tangent line is intersecting at 1 point. I'm not sure I drew that all that great, but it's intersecting just at that 1 point, this point right here, and that point has to be M, because M is on both of the secant line and the tangent line. So that's M. My secant line is MN, so that means this point up here has to be the N. And on my tangent line, I also have some other point T. It doesn't matter where it is. Didn't get my arrows in there. These lines go on forever. So there we go. Hopefully yours is somewhat close to that. And now our last one. We have a diameter AB, and it's intersecting tangent line GB on circle M. So I know I have circle M. I know I need a diameter, so I'm going to draw in my diameter. Let's see, the diameter is going right through the center. Okay. And I know that diameter is intersecting a tangent line, so that means my tangent line has to go through one of the endpoints of my diameter. So let's say I draw it, oopsie. There we go, come on. All right. I draw it going through right here. It's hitting that one spot right there. Okay. Okay, so the diameter AB intersects tangent line GB. So B is what they have in common. So that must be, oops, that point right there. Okay, diameter AB, so my A must be over here, intersects tangent line GB, so I just need a G somewhere on that tangent line. GB, and it's on circle M. So there we go. All right, nice job. Now you have time to start your homework, and good luck. I'll see you on Monday.